do my buttons. It's all right. This works. Right, I'm not going to belabor too much what my job is, who I am. That's kind of boring, but this one little slide might sum it up. I worked on this. It was hard work to work on this. It was 3 years of my life. And then you go into CEX, and you see that. It's not like I needed my ego bringing down. But anyway, I'm here to talk about why in AAA games, like right now, why are we doing this still? Surely there's a lot of money spent on this. And I look down, and where am I? Am I a ghost? Is that right? Is my cloaking system on all the time? No. So we have an assumption when we go into games as players, as much as anything else, that we should be teleported into the game, our entire presence being there, everything reflected, our identities transposed into this whatever matrix. But actually, as developers, we only have a really simple interface to deal with. We've got a few buttons and a few axes. And we're only driving something quite simplistic, which is just moving around the level, this kind of floating camera, target for your enemies. And this has been my day job for a good 4 months now. It's just like trying to make this basic thing work. It's fucking hard. It takes a lot of effort. Just fucking infuriating. Because like in Unity, you don't have the id Tech style thing. You're just like. This is basically my job now. It's just like pushing a refrigerator around a map, and I don't think most people realize it, but we're totally aware that you've got this broad range of expression as a human being, and we have to take that and funnel it into a very limited set of interactions, and then that keyboard and that mouse, that generates a very thin set of signals, and we take those signals and we translate it into the virtual realm, and then we explode it out into what we think you're trying to do. We try our best, is my point, all right? So we do that through code, we do that through animation to spruce up that code, give it a bit more life. Some people go as far as using motion capture. I kind of don't agree with that. I'm about to get into that. See, Quake 3 for me is like one of the best feeling games, and it was one of the early first-person games, right? You can really manipulate it and build up speed, so it's totally unrealistic. It has a really low level of fidelity. But within that, you have an absolute presence in the world. You are that cube, you are that refrigerator, just like a badass refrigerator. All right, and then you go to something with an unlimited fucking budget, and you throw the highest fidelity shit you can think of, and it ends up feeling like utter crap. I mean, look at the way, this is a very low frame rate thing, so it's pretty unfair, but you come to a stop here, and your head just kind of goes, and then you go up again, and you go like this. And it's like, it's not listening to your controls, it's going through secondary and tertiary motion, affecting that camera, and you start to feel motion sick. So these guys have actually taken a step back from using pure motion capture stuff and trying to unify third and first person motion. And this is basically because we don't have an ocular vestibular reflex. Here we go. We don't have proprioception. We don't have a sense of self in the game. So we're not really trying to simulate yourself. And this is something I noticed when I was doing some early pre-production on Brink, is that I tied a camera to my head, and I did all these roly-polies and all these kind of sweet parkour moves. And you can tell I'm a like a really good parkour practitioner here. It's great. Right. Anyway, that's got a super tight field of view there. That's what we have to deal with in a game. We got this low frame rate going on in the camera. And if you put all this shit together, and you cannot tell what you're doing, imagine playing that as a video game. You'd just be sick. So we end up with, oh, here we go. Here's where my shit breaks. No, it's all right. Okay, this is what we ended up with. It's not about creating a facsimile of parkour. It's about creating the experience of moving with fluid motion. So this is still a refrigerator. This is still like turning on a dime, moving around the map. Everything about it is trying to meet your intent halfway. And yeah, we bend over backwards. Oh yeah, I'm currently working for these guys. We bend over backwards, trying to manipulate all these animations so that they actually look good from first person. But as you can see from this wonderful demonstration, which you can get now, we start off with like no head, and then these headphones stretch out so that they look good in first person and don't clip with the front frustum plane. Then they snap on your head, and then you look again, and you've got no arms even, right? So we're doing all these hacks to make you feel better about being in the game. We're not trying to create a simulation. We're trying to generate a robot who can create really nice compositions of our level designs and that kind of thing. It's a tool. What's this about? Okay, I remember. Right. It's a tool, right? And so we give you freedoms. We give you the freedom even to look down. Here's what happens in another, like, contemporary video game. You look down, you have no legs. You start running a bit, and you grow arms. And then you vault over something, and you've got legs. I call it the phantom limbs. It's a great compromise, actually, because if you think about it, if you're worrying about what your legs are doing, are you really interested in the story? Are you participating in the story, or are you just being like a kind of lol video game logic kind of guy? And like, imagine what you'd have to do to animate this. Just like, fuck off. Like, no, it's not going to happen. So, equally, if we put you in a position where everything is fully articulated, where you have responsibility for your arms, your legs, everything like that, it's going to turn into first-person co-op. Like, it's fine, maybe that is a game, maybe that's a cool game. But really, like, do you give a shit about the story that you're playing through if you have to worry about articulating 2 or 3 points on an arm before you can pick up the shotgun? You just, really as a player, you want your intent to be respected. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. Like, in a first-person game, sure, I might actually have to physically climb over the table to reach those far credits, right? But I don't. I just pick them up, whatever. They disappear into thin air. And people are paying attention to this, by the way. They're making snarky little comments about me stealing stuff. But, like, that's actually fine for the player on the whole. Here's another example. If I try to make a game where you have every articulation possible, there's going to be real edge cases. So when I lie down behind this cramped little toilet, my legs end up sticking out. Like, how am I meant to fix that? I have to get an animator to do every single one of these poses for every possible position you can place yourself in. I'm not lazy, that's just ridiculous. And really, it's just about meeting somebody's intent. It doesn't really matter how good it looks. And actually, if we can take, like if you squint a bit and look at these things in a new light, it's actually kind of like real-time editing. These are some examples of jump cuts, match cuts, where the story progresses through thousands of years just through that one edit. We got something recently in 30 Flights of Loving called, what I like to call it, a blendo cut, which is the same kind of principle. If we're in a situation where we don't have to interact in a very interesting way, like running down this corridor, it's pretty obvious where we're going, where we want to go to. Let's just fucking cut to the end. Why put somebody through the monotony and pressure of searching an entire room? Why waste their time like that? And when you go back to look at something like Bioshock, this starts to make a little bit more sense. Can you imagine how much time you would waste reaching out to grab that first aid kit or grab all this money? It's just not interesting or conducive to either your interesting choices in the game or the storytelling process. And there are some compromises we can make. Like, we've done a little bit of animation. I didn't work on this, by the way. I've fixed 2 bugs or something. But these guys definitely wanted to have a full articulated system, but they ended up just having this quite nice, elegant system of, like, just snatching stuff from above you. It's a gestural system. If you actually look at how far I am from that, I'm a good 2 feet away from that mug. Think about that. I'm just swiping like this. Grabbed. Done. Job's done. You don't care. You weren't thinking about it. It's fine. This is the perfect implementation, in my opinion. This is one where that hand grasp gesture is basically treated like a hover over, if this was a web application or something like that. You lose no time waiting for the arm to come up. The arm is already up before you're ready to go. We build the anticipation of the animation into your continuous motion. It's just done and dusted before you have time to think. Right. Anyway, so what is all this in service? Okay, so if it's too hard to do all this shit and it's just too much of a rigmarole, why would we even have characters appearing in the game in the first place? Well, there's a tonal thing. It's important in some games that you know who you are. Like in Brink, less so. We did put in a whole character customization system and forgot to add women. But you know, nobody minds that. That's fine. That's fine. And then even when you have it, it's a first-person game, so you're not going to even see your customizations. You never see your customizations in this game, except for cutscenes where you're in the background saying nothing. But in other games, it's actually this extra layer of affordance that you need to care about. Virginia on the top left there. I'm just messing around with the walking animations. But you in these games, they are about storytelling and your relationship to the avatar that you're in. They're not about you just being whoever you want, like an empty vessel. They are a full vessel. They reflect a kind of layer of affordance that you must play with, you must role play within. And that's a continuous reinforcement every time you look down. So that's basically it. I don't have a great summary. This was done in a rush. But I just kind of am begging for a little understanding whenever people sort of say, why can't I see my legs? We've tried it. It's difficult. It looks bad. It's distracting. Your legs get in the way when you're trying to pick stuff off the floor. It's like, we're not stupid. We've done this on purpose. Please forgive us. All right.